Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool stuff to go over, some new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet updates to take a look at, some new Paradox Pokemon raid events have been announced for the Generation 9 games. We have some DLC links to take a look at with the Pokemon anime, a lot of stuff to break down. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Make sure to ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's take a look at the new Paradox Pokemon raid event that has just been announced for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Really cool because we don't usually get Paradox Pokemon in raids. Obviously, we've had Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, and I believe they're the only other Paradoxes we've had. But this time, we are getting the Iron Treads and also the Great Tusk. So, HDvee tweeting out here saying, HDvee update, the next Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Terra Raid Battle event has been announced. Focuses on the Great Tusk in Scarlet and the Iron Treads in Violet. So this is pretty cool because usually they are version exclusive, and so, you know, as a Violet player, you wouldn't be able to get like Great Tusk with your original trainer name and stuff, but now you'd be able to if you joined a raid online from Violet into Scarlet and you did a Great Tusk raid, you would be able to get that Great Tusk with your OT. Might not be too many people that are bothered about it, but a lot of people are. It's kind of like a collection thing to have like every single Pokemon with your OT. So yeah, really cool thing that they are doing this, and hopefully they do more Paradox Pokemon raids up until like the lead up to the DLC or something. I'm still kind of convinced we are going to get some more Paradox Pokemon in the DLC, and so I think a cool build up to that would be all of these different raids. Like maybe next month we get Iron Thorns and something from Scarlet or whatever. But yeah, really happy with these. It runs from the 19th of May up until the 21st of May alongside the Chestnut raid. So a lot of raids happening this weekend. Of course, at the end of this weekend, we should be getting the next 7-star raid event as well. It's either going to be Rillaboom or Delphox. Those are the last two choices it could possibly be, unless they just do a massive U-turn and do a starter Pokemon from the DLC, but that's super, super unlikely. Rillaboom and Delphox are the only starter Pokemon left that have not been in 7-star raids that are going to be transferable through Pokemon Home when that update comes out. So yeah, it has to either be Delphox or Rillaboom next. It's only been starter Pokemon that are transferable through Pokemon Home as of like right now. That's all we've had so far, so very, very likely that it's going to be Rillaboom or Delphox. And my guess it will be Delphox just because we just had a grass type, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's that. We've got a little bit more information about it here as well. So the next Terra Raid Battle event has been announced. The event will feature a focus on Great Tusk in Pokemon Scarlet and Iron Treads in Pokemon Violet. There'll be 5-star raids and be multiple Terra types. So yeah, all the different Terra types, 5-star raids. This event will run from midnight UTC, yada yada yada. I'm pretty sure they can be shiny. I don't see why they would shiny lock them. I mean, obviously you can get them as a shiny anyway. Maybe not as easily if you don't have like friends that have like the game and stuff, or you don't have both copies. It would be a little bit more difficult to get, like, let's say you're in Violet, it would be difficult to get a Great Tusk as a shiny. But yeah, I mean, the odds aren't great in raids anyway, but if you really wanted to try and shiny hunt them this weekend, then you very much can do so. Those are the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet updates. We then have this really, really cool thread here by Yorodon talking about the shiny Rayquaza that was obviously featured in the latest episode of the Pokemon Horizons anime. Now, it's interesting how this has potentially given some like pretty big links to the DLC. I mean, there was always going to be links with the DLC anyway because of the Terapagos baby form that we got, whatever it is. Since we saw that, we knew that the anime was going to reveal like more things about the DLC, and they may have just revealed like some more stuff as well if this theory does turn out to be true. So massive shout out to Yorodon for this, but it's pretty obvious that this Rayquaza isn't just a Rayquaza that was in Roy's Pokeball, right? If you haven't seen the anime, spoilers, but basically Roy just had his Pokeball, just shiny Rayquaza came out of it. Aside from being crystallized without showing any apparent Terra type, it just disappeared like raid Pokemon do when you don't catch them, instead of going back into its ball. Some people think that this is also kind of a hint towards us getting a shiny Rayquaza raid and not being able to catch it, which, again, a lot of people in previous videos that I've done have said, like, that's definitely not going to happen. I don't know why they think it can't happen. We had legendary raids in Sword and Shield. I'm not saying we'd be able to catch the shiny Rayquaza. Like, we had a Mewtwo raid in Sword and Shield that we couldn't catch, just defeat it for the items and stuff. There's no reason why they couldn't do something like that in Scarlet and Violet. I don't understand why everyone's against it. I think it'd be really cool to do a Rayquaza raid. But yeah, I don't know. Some people are massively against that idea happening. But yeah, as you can clearly see, it is crystallized. It's got like a rainbow kind of glow on it, and it doesn't have a Terra hat. So obviously it's not the kind of terrestrialized Pokemon that we're used to seeing. So yeah, he says here that, you know, it just disappears like raid Pokemon do when you don't catch them instead of going back into the ball. They then go on to say, not that we need any more evidence that Magic Turtle power was involved here, so obviously Terapagos, but I do find it interesting that the glowing aura around Rayquaza matches the colors used in Terapagos' designs, especially its fur, and I mean not counting the type symbols because that's cheating. So again, we know that there's some sort of link here, because literally as the Pokeball started glowing, Roy's Pokeball, so did Lyco's pendant, and we know that the Terapagos is in Lyco's pendant, so there is clearly some sort of connection there. It's probably going to be with the DLC as well. Maybe we don't get the Pokeball and the pendant in the DLC, but there's going to be clearly some sort of connection between Terapagos and these new Terra types, which we've kind of thought all along anyway, because Terapagos is the reason behind terrestrialization, and so yeah, that there's going to be some sort of like links between it and stuff. And that's the same glow as wild Terra Pokemon that's coming out of the ball. So as you can see, yep, this wild Jigglypuff that we all know terrestrializes, we saw it in a trailer and stuff for Scarlet and Violet. It is the same glow that's happening with this Pokeball. So Roy believed a story that was real, and it became his dream to see it. Now, where have we heard that before? Professor, Sada, and Turo. I love how this whole dream thing keeps coming up. It's getting past the point of subtle now. So this is obviously the dream that like Roy was talking about. I always believed the ancient adventurer was real. I dreamed of leaving the island someday and finding legendary Pokemon. So that's his dream. His dream is to find legendary Pokemon. And what comes out of his Pokeball? A legendary Pokemon. And then we also have Sada here saying, I will use the time machine to journey to the world of the ancient past that I dreamed of. And then also Turo saying, I will use the time machine to journey to the world of the future that I dreamed of. So dreaming is actually like, you know, we thought it was a bit of a funny thing that Riddler Q just posted about ages ago, because he actually tweeted out a poll saying, like, what is the origin of Paradox Pokemon? And one of the options was obviously, like, imagination, dreams, stuff like that. And we were like, I don't know why he's put that in there. But there's so much kind of evidence supporting the idea that, like, dreaming something into existence is how these Paradox Pokemon are being created and how these things are, like, happening. And so, potentially, what these Paradox Pokemon could be would, I don't know, maybe someone went into Area Zero and just imagined these Paradox Pokemon, and then that's how they came to light. And it could be the same thing as this situation. This Pokeball could easily act as like a kind of, I don't know, like a dream ball, and that when you dream something, it like actually comes out of the Pokeball when it gets linked with Terapagos. So it's literally making dreams come true. Which I don't think is completely far-fetched as people like believe it is. We also have Soul Silverheart talking about this as well, saying, I'd planned to post something else today, but then I read this thread. After this whole Rayquaza story arc has now played out, I'm actually nearly convinced that Terapagos does have some kind of power that brings ideas into reality. I still haven't watched this episode for myself, but if Rayquaza really just vanishes into thin air instead of flying off, it just strengthens this whole theory a lot. I highly recommend reading this entire thread. And then also goes on to say, here's also my observations on the same topic. That just isn't a normal Shiny Rayquaza in my opinion. So we actually have this image here as well. I don't know where this just popped up on 4chan. It's not a rumor or a leak or anything. It's just someone's idea saying Roy's dream is to meet legendary Pokemon. The Terapagos inside Lyco's pendant summons random legendary Pokemon from Roy's Pokeball imagination. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe... Look, all I'm saying is that we know that we're getting some kind of like PK Hex-like feature in the DLC. And I think it'd be kind of like, some people think it's kind of coming with like Pokemon Home and stuff. Maybe what it actually is that Terapagos, like maybe there's like a Terapagos hub or something, and we go to the Terapagos and then we dream a Pokemon and then it's created, and then they're the Pokemon that we can't use in the ranked battles. So maybe we go up and we're like, yo, Terapagos, mate, give me that Charizard, level 100, I want this, and then it just creates it into existence, and then you have this Pokemon, and then obviously you can't use it in ranked battles and stuff, but maybe you can use it in raids. Look, we know there's a PK Hex-like feature in the DLC, maybe Terapagos is that PK Hex-like feature. I think it's a pretty cool idea that they could do. I don't know if it's going to happen, I'm just kind of putting 2 and 2 together, this whole dreaming thing, and we know we're getting like this feature. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Terapagos could actually be this PK Hex-like feature? Maybe these little mini Terapagoses that are in Lyco's pendant, maybe we see a swarm of them in the DLC, and that's how we create these Pokemon out of nothing, because we're dreaming them into reality, and that's what Terapagos does. I don't know. Just my 2 cents. I think it'd be a cool kind of feature to put into the game. But yeah, that's just kind of my idea about it. Let me know your thoughts on it. What do you think the relation is between Lyco's pendant and the Pokeball? Do you think the Rayquaza is something that's been dreamed out, or do you think it was just in the Pokeball the whole time? Let me know your thoughts on it all. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. It's everything from me though. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.